Hi friends, it's Claire from ScrappyNerdUK, and today I'm up for UK Scrap Addicts, and this month's theme we are concentrating on making our own embellishments. So I've made some of these recently and I thought I would make them on a larger scale, and they are paperclip banners. So I'm working here with the Bloom Street collection from Paige Evans. And first of all, I want a bit of a messy background, so I'm just adding some white paint, acrylic paint splatters across my background. I've just put that to one side to dry. So I'm just going through and just using scraps of my paper rather than cutting into fresh sheets. And I'm going to make use of the cut apart sheet as my layers on my banners. So all I've done is I've just cut down a big banner. Now it doesn't matter on the size of the paperclip because I'm going to create a couple of hinges, loops, to actually attach the banner to the paperclip. So I'm not going to show you the process here because I'm pretty sure you can cope with making a banner shape, and you don't need to see that process necessarily. So just a little tip here, I measure the width of my banner, and then I just use my trimmer to mark halfway so I know where the centre is, and then I just cut in from both sides so my banner, my fishtail banner is even. So I've got these three going on here, so two with the cut apart cards and then one with my photo on. And I decided just to trim down my photo a little bit to be able to mount it onto a small white border, and then onto that other piece of pattern paper, which is again a cut apart, but it's just the reverse, it's the B side of the paper. And that's going to help my photo pop a lot more. What I've done as well is I've gone around each of the layers with my distressing tool just to ruffle up the edges. Sometimes I like it flat, clean edges. And other times I like to give it a little bit of interest by using my distressing tool. So these are the paper clips. Now these are the larger ones, not the huge ones, but the larger paper clips. And I'm just going to cut 1/2-inch strips of pattern paper to help me attach my banners onto the paper clips. And I think this is a really nice design to be able to do this. So if you had a thinner strip of paper, so I've made these banners before where the width of the paper is just wide enough to go through the paper clip, but I wanted to be able to use I wanted to be able to make bigger banners, but still using these same paper clips. So I just made these little 1/2-inch strips, and I'm going to staple the top to keep them secure on that paper clip, but also using the staples as a design element, and just peeling off some double-sided tape on the back of the banner, and then laying that back down flat, and then I've got the staples around the wrong way, so I'm just flipping that around. So yeah, rather than just the paper clip holding that banner, I've got these two little strips which I love. I love the result of these. So yeah, this is my DIY embellishments, as it were, and I love the fact that you can make these in advance. So if you are If you were not crafting specifically, but you're sat in front of the TV, you could sit in front of Netflix and make these little banners ready to pop on a layout whenever you're ready. And these are great for just having on hand whenever you want an embellishment, and you can make them as big or as small as you want. I really wanted to make statement pieces with these ones, so I did make them. I did make them rather large, and that's because I wanted to use the cut apart cards on this. So I decided to bring in some others as well, not just those 3. So I'm going to bring in an extra 2 with those sentiments on. And then I'm just going to cut 2 slits. Okay, so this is where I messed up a little bit. So I've cut 2 slits because I want the paper clip to go in the paper and out the other side. But what I did here is, and I've left this in to show you, I actually made the slit too wide apart. So I think I made it about 1 inch apart, which is, you can't get it through because the little 1/2 inch strip is on there. So I had to go back in and cut another slit about 1/2 inch in order for the paper clip to go in and then come out the other side. And I had actually marked up my paper roughly where the slits were to go, but it was pointless in the end because those slits were far too far apart. So if you just want to, I mean, you could do it where you don't have the paper clip going through the paper. You don't have to do that, but I just thought it was a nice little design element of the paper clips interacting with the paper. So yeah, you could just stick your banners on and just leave the paper clips unattached to the paper. You could have it where it goes just all the way through the paper, so you just have 1 slit and you just slot it in. You don't need to have it coming out the other side if you don't want to. So I'm just then bringing in a couple more of these cutter parts to fill in those blank spaces. And again, just matching the distressed edge on these cards as well. And because I've got the metal of the paper clips, I thought I would then add on some staples to the other ones as a design element as well. So next up, I'm going to add a few embellishments. So here I have the cut apart sheet. It was the one with all the words on, all the word strips. So I'm just going through that and pulling out a few of these word strips that I think I might want to use. Now the colour, the block is just too big, so I'm just trimming around and removing some of that excess paper, and then again just distressing the edges. And then what I do here is I do a mixture of putting some up on foam, and others I just tape straight down onto the banners. It just depends on whether I've put so those first 2 banner pieces, they're already up on foam, so those ones just got stuck flat, and then the rest of them, to give it some dimension, were popped up onto some foam. So next up, I'm then adding in some little flower clusters. I love these florals that are from the floral die cut pack. And so I'm just going to add 3 areas of floral clusters, and that helps with the floral element from that card in the middle as well. So I'm happy with my floral clusters, and I don't add many. I add one of the bigger pieces, and then a little sprig, a couple of little flowers down here. And wet glue is my go-to glue when it comes to adding these in, because it does give you that wiggle room to be able to get them moved around and stuck in. And we're coming to the end of the video. So if you have enjoyed today's DIY embellishment video, then please give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. If you're watching on my channel, ScrappyNerdUK, then head on over to UK Scrap Addicts, and we do have a Facebook group as well. And I'll leave the links in the description box below. And if you're watching on UK Scrap Addicts, head on over to my channel, which is ScrappyNerdUK. Thank you all very much for joining me today. Stay tuned for some more inspiration from the rest of the team, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!